everybody have on Zoom?
Boy, he's walking around. If you have the brochure in front of you, it highlights what he was talking about up here, and that's translating KM to the real world. As you can see, both up here and in the cafe menu there, Neil has a very diverse background, both in the private sector and in the public sector. He's currently doing some work for the Army's knowledge management effort, and he's very passionate about KM. Not only is he a board member here, but the KM Institute, but he's on the Federal Interagency Knowledge Management Working Group. So with that said, please take over, and I'll get you set up.
Implementing knowledge management internally in an organization and trying to effectively communicate the value of a knowledge management program. And what we discovered, and a lot of these things I discovered working with Laura here, who's going to present the next presentation, and we kind of learn these things in the trenches, is that if you come all dewy-eyed and idealistic and full of KM speak terms to the workplace, nobody really cares about collaboration. They don't care about communities of practice, communities of interest. They don't care about the distinction between communities of practice, teams. They care about what they care about. They care about their own business. You know, if they're in manufacturing, they care about their products and quality. If you're in the Army, as I am, a contractor, civilian contractor for the Army, they care about getting, well, in logistics, they care about getting equipment and weapons to the front line. They care about, in government, they care about mission success, and that's what they care about. So if we can add value, they care about that. They want us to help them do that. They don't care about our problems. And that's one of the reasons, that's one of the main reasons that KM has had kind of an image issue. It's obscure. It's funny. It's kind of a paradox. Sometimes it's obscure and hard to explain. Other times it's so obvious that it needs no explanation. The idea of sharing knowledge, of course, or information is, I mean, duh, right? But then, you know, some of the other concepts are a little bit obscure. KM is a means rather than an end. KM is a means, a tool, a methodology. It's not an end in itself. Well, although I suppose it's possible in some cases, but usually where I've been, it hasn't been. And right now, and I think probably for the foreseeable future, KM is and will be a very kind of broad set of tools and methodologies, and of course it's very much still forming and still being formed, and there are many different, well, 3 or 4 different viewpoints on what the philosophy of KM should be. Are we talking about social networks? Are we talking about information systems? Are we talking about communities of practice? This, that, the other. And for each organization, each individual place, we need to translate all of these tools and methodologies into the local language. But we want to translate it into something practical, into something effective, into something that really will work, that we can implement. So I'm saying programs, not principles. We're not here to be philosophical. We're here to make widgets, or deliver something, or deliver value to the taxpayer, whatever it may be. Locally relevant. By local, you know, you're talking about your own organization. Achievable, affordable, synergistic. I just threw that in. Next slide. And as we all know, we're living in a soundbite world. You can't sell anything unless you can communicate. You won't get to the second. You won't get to the second meeting. You just won't. You have to be. You have to know what it is, what the value is of what you're delivering. You have to be coherent, and the value of it has to be self-evident. It has to be clear that whatever you're delivering is going to have value locally in the language and for the values of the organization. Next slide. So, and you've seen this. I'm sure you've seen this. Framing the value proposition. This is kind of a marketing truism anymore. So I'm sure you've heard these terms, and this is really a marketing or sales or business kind of exercise. And this burning platform is a real consultant's gimmick, a real high-dollar consultant gimmick. And have you heard the term before, the burning platform? The burning platform was a software technology or technology salesperson's ploy to get the customer to imagine their situation as a burning platform. Well, obviously, if you stay on the burning platform, you're going to get burned up. Your business will burn up. In other words, you have problems that are so pernicious and so severe that you will actually go out of business. It's burning up. The house is on fire, and this salesman's solution is the pathway out of that burning platform. And a skilled salesperson will be able to say, "Hey, this is the best solution," and you have to make a change. Now, most organizations do have severe issues, and I believe KM provides a natural, I won't say, I think this is a rather dramatic kind of metaphor, but we do need to position the knowledge management program as a specific pointed solution to a specific set of problems that amount to a kind of burning platform. In other words, something so severe that if we don't take the action and make the change, we realize that our situation will become untenable. And I'll tell you, the places where I've been, I mean, this is not an unrealistic statement of the facts. So what do we mean by framing solutions? Okay. We all know most of us know the tool set or the range of possible solutions that exist in knowledge management. I kind of rattled a few off earlier. And any one of the books that you can buy about knowledge management will talk about all these solutions. The issue is to identify your organization's issues, target the solutions that fit these particular issues, and then frame them in the language and to fit the culture where you are employed. And then finally, once you have done that, you've got this range of pinpoint solutions that you can very clearly discuss